All right. What's up, YouTube fam? It's Dark Angel's Journey. I'm Shakira. All right. Let's get some back testing going. I hope everybody's had a really good trading week last week, but it's time to hone our skills. Time to hone our skills. Apologize if my picture starts acting stupid, but whatever. I don't know I've got a spotlight thing on here, so who the hell knows why this particular laptop wants to keep darkening the view. Anyway, so we are on to April 6th. So let's switch over to the 6th and let's go to 0940 and let's do some prep work for that day and then check the news. Let's see what's happening. So this is the 4-hour window. And for the 6th of April, as always, you're using the on-demand feature for Thinkorswim, which is great. Let's see. Areas of interest. So we have some equal highs up here. Beautiful. As a nice little target. Looks like we're moving bullish. Hold on. Looks like we're moving bullish for this day, but the 4-hour has turned bullish. We've dropped into a fair value gap here, rejected from it nicely, tapped into, well, I guess this balanced price range right here, and then started moving upward. My general desire, let's see, some buy side liquidity, equal highs. I don't know, let me just note that. And then other areas of interest would be the extreme here and the high here. So let's just note those. Just go just pure buy side liquidity right here. And then we have equal highs to play with as well as targets. All right, let's check the news for let me see, 4-hour extreme. Okay. Let's check the news and see what we had on April 6th to work with. Okay, so there's red folder news at 10 a.m. So let's move time up to 10 a.m. because I wouldn't be taking any trades before that. And then we'll see what we're looking for. All right, let's switch over to 10 a.m. All right, so, and let's reset the account. We don't want any P&L to be showing there. So it looks like at 10 on the 4-hour. So we had an order block here. We tapped into it on this thing. We had a small, actually, there is no fair value gap in that on the 4-hour. Let's look at, ooh, okay. Well, here's a 4-hour fair value gap that I would love to be used as an inversion. Right here. Looks like that's being used as we speak. So now we're just waiting. We'd be looking for a continuation trade. Let's look at the 1-hour. All right, looking real nice. Beautiful closure on that 1-hour. Nice sweep of liquidity and then continuation up. Let's go to the 15-minute. So these closures really, really matter. You know, they really matter to me because, you know, these candles can look really juicy and then just not be really juicy. Let's see, where's London lows? So London lows actually down here. So they didn't take that out. They just tapped into this order block right here, tiny fair value gap, and then ran up. They did sweep liquidity, so there was some manipulation there. So we had accumulation right here, a little manipulation right here, and then expansion. Let's take a look at this on the 5-minute. Oof. So we have a fair value gap right here on the 5-minute. We've not made it to the equal highs. And this would be the entry I would want. Let's see. The body here. So 5-minute order block. We've swept all liquidity. So this would be like a 1 micro long. Oh, hold on. Keep forgetting to turn that on. So right here, see if I can get it into the fair value gap right there. This would be a 1 micro long. And I don't know how big the stop is, but that's what we would do. And then let's see if we can make it up to these equal highs. All right, so we're in on the 1 micro long. All right, let's see. So we've got a new 1 hour candle. And so we want to see the continuation up. We're coming into a 1 hour order block. Stop is below the lows and below the order block. So we have the order block. We have a fair value gap in between. So we have at least 2 levels of protection, supposedly. We'll see. This is a big stop, though. So let's see what we get. So my general expectation is a rejection. I'd like this 5-minute candle to close with a wick that way. No joke, a lot of times when I get into these types of trades, like especially when it's moved a bit, it might want to like form 1, 2, 3 of these candles like next to each other. So we'll see how it goes. We have the order block, fair value gap in between us, and it's quite a long ways. But that doesn't mean that NQ can't do what she wants. Let's do the 3x speed up so we can see what's up and see if we are wrong. So the only thing that would potentially invalidate this is if they wanted to come take out London and then turn around, and then we could get an entry here, because this 5-minute candle is looking really aggressively bearish, which is unfortunate, which equates to this 1 hour candle looking really aggressively bearish. So this is not what I wanted to see with them coming back in. But like I said, we have the order block, fair value gap, and this 1 hour candle. So if we take over this whole 1 hour candle, then life is not like a box of chocolates. And yeah, the only problem with backtesting this is that I don't have any way of knowing, of testing how big the how many points this is. But this isn't looking real good. But let's see. We did already have a sweep, so let's look at that on the 1 minute. Now, if this busts back up, then I can move my stop to under here, and then that will be a little bit more protection. But this is a lot of drawdown to live in. So I did not trade this day. I was at work, so I couldn't do any trading. So it's on the 1 minute. Let's see if we can't get past these fair value gaps. We've hit the propulsion block here, so if it does its job, then we'll just slingshot back up. My normal setup is a little different. This is like the sweep, shift, come back down, make another low, and then shift one more time with another order block. So this isn't exactly my right setup, so might be just being a bit preemptive with this entry here. But it looked really good, but that's how it is sometimes. So we're making like a V-shaped reversal type thing here. The thing is, this 1 hour candle, right? We need it to actually close very aggressively bullish. It's just started. We're only 12 minutes into it. It's come back down to tap this 4-hour fair value gap, which is not weird. But that's why the stop has to go where the stop has to go. You can't like half-ass where the stop's supposed to go. And what I liked about the structure is we've been rejecting and pushing aggressively. So we like came back down, tapped into a fair value gap. We even gapped down, but that didn't respect that. And then we rolled back up. Then we tapped into this bullish fair value gap. and we just kept climbing. So the only thing that would be I should just aim for the equal highs. I thought that's where I put that. I don't know why it's sitting there. Anyway, so the only thing that would make me feel uncomfortable is if this 1 hour candle really, really closes super bearish. So what we're looking for is for it to, it's okay for it to tap in. That's why the stop's under here. And just keep pushing. This is a very aggressive engulfing 1 hour candle. It's continuing the aggressive bullish move. We'd already swept out liquidity before we started the moves. That's why this setup felt like a good one. So let's drop back down to the 5 minute. And all right, so we need to see it aggressively just bust through this 5 minute fair value gap right here. I don't want it to think too hard about it. Just show some follow through. Now we've been in this area of consolidation for a bit, so just gotta wait and see. And we don't have any more news. So 10 o'clock news dropped price. We just gotta see if this, gotta get through this bearish fair value gap here. I'm gonna just note it just so I can keep my eyes on it. Eventually I'm gonna be able to do this without actually having to draw a box on it, but until then I'm just gonna keep drawing. It just helps me kind of see what's happening. So I wanted to close above it. All right, beautiful. Nice aggressive close. So we have a small fair value gap here. We've got this guy. We just need, it's okay if they want to tap into that. Stay above the midpoint is all I'm asking for. And then continuation up. Once we crest that high, we should continue moving in that direction. So let's see. It's all about how this 1 hour candle chooses to close. So we are 21 minutes into the 1 hour candle. We had a nice big push down. Now the buyers are stepping in and we're pushing upwards. It'd be nice if this closed with a small body above here. That would be great. But we still have to wait. Lately, all the trades I get into take at least an hour or more for me before I can get into anything. So yeah, now it's just a matter of waiting. But that's the setup that would have made sense. Now let's see if there's a better entry on the 1 minute. So I entered on the 5 minute here. Stop would have still needed to be down here. I guess I could have waited for them to come back down and then seen if there was something juicy, take it here and stop down here. Nah, I would have, and then that would have been an inversion entry. Once they busted above it, just take the entry right there, and that would have tapped us. We'd have gotten tapped in here, and we would have ended up with a better entry. And then, let's see. But this is all about how these higher time frame candles are going to close, because that 15-minute candle needs to stay above to close more bullish. What time is it? Oof, that still has 4 minutes left on it. So far, all we've done is tap into the 15-minute order block, the small little fair value gap, the higher 4 hour fair value gap, and then rejected hard from it, which is beautiful. So it's still looking really good. But as I mentioned, a lot of times I have to sit in these trades for quite some time before I get to TP, or before we even get to a nice place where I can move my stop to a more appropriate place. All right, so last 5 minute candle. Be nice if we kept that nice wick and ran up that way. That'd be good. Still have a minute and change. They tapped into this little crack in the armor. Volume imbalance, love that. So let's see if we can't get some acceleration. It's been interesting learning the patience, just to let price do its thing. It's got to do its thing anyway, right? Like, it's not like I can do anything about it. Right? It's going to either stop me out or pay me. And I need to be patient and maybe not move my stop around or, be too aggressive. So let's see. So now we need to start moving more aggressively upwards, and then I can move. I would prefer if this candle had tapped into this 5-minute. Well, actually, it did. So let's see. Was there a little break in there? No. Okay, never mind. On the 1-minute, it did. So that's why you gotta wait for these candles to close. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, we are sitting above this bearish fair value gap, and I want it to turn into an inversion. Use it as fuel to make it up. So, like I said, it's all about how this 1-hour candle wants to close. All about, because it decided to pop above, and then it's looking really good, but we'll never know until it actually closes. You never know until it actually closes. So just got to be patient. Let's look at that on the 1-minute. So now we're just accumulating here on the 1-minute. Honestly, like if there's like another sweep to sweep these lows out and then a big aggressive push up, that would be perfectly fine with me. Perfectly fine with me, because there's nothing wrong with that. That's just, you're accumulating, you sweep out everybody who's going long and has their stops under there, and then, you take off. Well, that's my general expectation. So, like, we're just kind of sitting in the chop now. Let's see. I haven't taken that low out yet. Like an entry back down here seems like a good one. Entry at this fair value gap, stop all the way down here. Not bad play. Right now there we go. There's that sweep, and there's the sweep. So let's see if they decide to come back up. Oof. Oof. So this was a more aggressive entry, but they didn't. If I'm being silly, like they never gave me my actual entry. But we're just doing sideways BS right now, so that's why my stops here. We've made higher lows every time we've come down, so we'll see. But again, remember, it's all about how the 1-hour candle closes, and we got 20 more minutes left in it. And I told you I was waiting for some sort of sweep. And they just did it right there. That's why you don't like chase or run into things, because they be doing this kind of stuff. Let's go back to the 1-minute and watch this. Now, if this busts above here, then that should be a nice protected low, and then I can move my stop here. So let's see if that's what's going to happen. What I don't want to see is it stay below the midpoint of this 5-minute fair value gap. I want it to just run back up. But everybody who had their lows, they swept them out. So what I want to see is a nice aggressive move back up. And lately, I don't even watch the, I don't even watch like my trades on the 1 minute. Not really. I tend to shift in between, you know, just for giggles, but I prefer to watch it on the 5 minute because the higher time frame tells you a better story. The 1 minute will lie to you. It's all about how these higher time frame candles close. So if I'm wrong, then we've made higher low here, lower low here. What is it, the head and shoulders? Ugh. I don't really use those, but you know, this closure does not make me super happy at all. So, but we are at a higher time frame bullish fair value gap that should have a lot more sway than the smaller 5 minute fair value gap. So let's see. Let's take a look at that 1 hour candle. Oof. See, I want to, there's what, like 14 minutes left on that. That's closing really bearish. It's not juicy at all. It's not juicy at all. We wanted a more aggressive closure upwards. And it looks like it's going to close super duper bearish. The only thing in between us and this candle is the midpoint of this wick. If they stay above it, we might be all right. But yeah, not sexy. But this is where like my higher time frame bias is like more important to me. Like my bias is bullish. And technically what I should have done was after this first shift, I should have waited for a second shift and then taken it there. And I didn't do that. So this was just a more aggressive move. So that's definitely going to be a stop out. The only thing that could possibly save this now is if they decide that that's it. They've swept out everybody who went long here, all the liquidity, and then they decide to run up. But this is looking more like it's going to continue coming down. And that's fine if that's the case. We're working with the information that we have. And right now that 1 hour candle is closing aggressively bearish. Engulfing even. And honestly, like after we pull back up here, my preference would have been if they kept going. So let's look at the 15-minute. It's also all about where you put your stop too, right? Like we swept liquidity, tapped into fair value gap, ran away really aggressively. So my stop has to be here, and I couldn't switch it here, not until we'd moved up and taken this high out. And then that would have made another protected low. But that didn't happen, so I couldn't move my stop. So, yeah. So now we have buyers fighting. And that 1 hour candle is they're fighting to make it so that it's just like a sideways candle, but still got 5 more minutes left on it, and it's looking like, well, just gotta wait. Just gotta wait for to see who wins this battle, the buyers or the sellers. So they've come down and sweep. Let's see. Because that's not unheard of, you know? And NQ, no joke, she's seriously known for pulling these shenanigans. Like, I've been watching her do her thing for years, and it's just been crazy. So right now, we just need to survive this hour candle closure. We got 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. If we can get some buyers to push up, then we might be all right. Because we want the next candle to open up higher than the current one. So we need to dig back in here. So we have a sweep. This would, if we close above here, be a shift on the 5-minute and then continuation up. But like I said, it's a very bearish candle. So just gotta. All right, new hourly candle. How did the last one close? Let's see. Okay, good. It closed right at the top of this guy, so we might just get some sideways action before we move up. This guy is still the protected lows. That's where the stop has to stay. And now we might get a yo-yo for a few more candles. Hopefully not. It's going to make this take like literally hours, which has been my experience the last few weeks. So, which is crazy. So that means like, instead of trades taking like a few minutes, all of a sudden they're now taking like an hour. I've started filming my trades and speeding them up and then posting them so I can like rewatch them, you know? So that's why you gotta wait for candle closures, because they tell you a lot. They tell you a lot. So right now, I need this 5-minute to close above here, or we might not get it. So far, the 1 hour has stayed at the top. Retracement, tap, fair value gap, bigger 4-hour fair value gap. So now we just need to know if this is going to yo-yo back and forth this way. If it digs into here, then I definitely get stopped out. But this candle like took the high out and then basically retraced the bulk of this candle. Buyers made sure and kept us in the game. So the question is, do we keep going up? <sighs> 27 minutes in this trade. I'm tempted to start speeding things up, but I'd do that. So let's watch. So we're stuck between two PD arrays. I'm hoping the higher time frame PD array will win out in this very bullish environment. And that's how I've learned to not move my stop too prematurely, because NQ has kicked me in the face multiple times once I've done that. So I have very strict rules as to when I move my stop. So for example, like I would have moved my stop to here if this had continued up and taken that out. And then once we start moving towards TP, then I can start moving my stop into profit and not worry about it, because, you know, at that point, we've finally gotten out of this consolidation space, and then we have some momentum behind us. Right now, we need to bust above this guy, take this out, and then form another protected low. So honestly, once this busts up this way, I can move my stop to here because we've swept liquidity and we've shifted structure right here at this 5-minute fair value gap. And now I'm waiting to see if they want to continue up. I don't know. What does this 1 hour candle look like? Oof. It's just starting to form, so we got nothing but a doji to play with. They're just... So far, it's telling me it wants to continue up, but we are sitting in sideways action. So the 15-minute. Yeah, so far the 15-minute has rolled back down, swept liquidity, respected the 15-minute order block here, and now we're just waiting to see if, and the big 4 fair value gap. Now we're just waiting to see if we can get some movement back up that way. Got another 5-minute fair value gap, 15-minute fair value gap here that we've tapped into. And looking like it wants to respect it, but as we know, until the candle closes, we don't know diddly squat. So all we got to do is wait. I took 2 trades last week, both of which had the hallmarks of this type of trade where my stop is at the protected low because it swept liquidity. They hadn't already taken out the highs that I had spec'd out. And, they played around close to my stop and then decided to run and hit TP. This is a little different because I didn't actually wait for a secondary 5-minute shift, which is what I would normally wait for. But we're here backtesting and seeing if different trading strategies would work. So that's it. This trade kind of sucks because I'm sitting in drawdown like pretty much all of it, but it still looks pretty good to continue in that direction. We close below here though, then yeah, we're cooked. But right now we're just sitting in a chop zone. Oh yeah, I'm just doing this lounging thing. And when we're in like choppy zones like this, you gotta honestly just like watch it on the higher time frame because that gives you a lot of information. So far we're just sitting at the order block. So it's all about how these candles close. And still 5 minutes left in this 15-minute candle. So yeah, we're just going sideways. Hashtag can't get some movements. But given the nature of the movement that we've seen recently, it's not weird. They did sweep the lows, sweep the highs. We're expecting a continuation of bullish action here, but, we're just following the trend. Look at that. Sweep up, sweep the lows, consolidate for a while, sweep up, come back down, consolidate for a while, sweep the lows, sweep up, come back down, consolidate for a while. Yeah. Okay, we're 32 minutes into this watching paint dry, so let's start moving time forward a bit because that's just starting to get annoying. All right, let's push it to 11:30. All right, so that's looking like we're going to get stopped out. Yeah, so that's for my normal, more conservative setup. I didn't get the follow through that I was looking for. Well, technically we sort of did, right? We had a shift here, then a shift here. So an entry here and a stop down here is perfectly acceptable. Whether or not they want to continue, given the choppy nature of this, well, it's up to them. All right, so far they're respecting the bearish fair value gap right here and continuing down. So it looks like we'll probably get stopped out on this one. Let's look at this on the 1 minute. Ugh. That does not look juicy. Yeah, that's pretty ugly. All right, so I said if it closed below here, most likely we'll probably get stopped out, but just gotta stick to my guns and take my stop out like a big girl. Let's look at that 15-minute candle. Ugh, yeah. That is not juicy at all. Yeah, we're only like 5 minutes into this guy. Just shy of 5 minutes. But yeah, like this trade has not been great. No follow through, even though it did give us the 2 shifts we were looking for. So it happens. Ain't nothing wrong. So that means this new 1 hour candle is trying to dig into this order block, disrespecting this bullish fair value gap and digging further in. So yeah, not looking great. But that's just the nature of trading. Sometimes you can do everything and it's still, that's just not where they want to take price. Sometimes I wonder, like, is it okay to take this much of a loss on a single micro, you know? And usually I wouldn't, because then I can estimate how many points and stuff is on there using TradingView. But for this backtesting, I can't do that because that would be cheating like hardcore. That would be cheating super duper hardcore. So at this point, we're just waiting to either get stopped out or get rescued, like the lovely divas we are. The only saving grace at this point is that we haven't closed any bodies below this low. We've only swept it. So we just gotta wait. Oh, man, I wish I had some gum or something. It might just be a little reprieve. So I'm wondering, like, was there some, amazing 1 minute order block or something down here that we should be like paying attention to? Like this type of sweep, shift, fair value gap, nice 1 minute entry, stop below here. That would be nice. But we took a 5 minute dual shift entry, so. So it's like one of those like all day trades too. Okay. It's 11:43. Let's look at that 15-minute candle. And it's not looking super, super strong. The 1 hour candle. It's still thinking. But I don't like, if we get a closure under here, I don't like it. But it doesn't matter, we're in a trade, so it's not nothing we can do, right? But no joke, there's nothing like sitting in drawdown the whole time and then for it to just start pumping in your favor. I've been sitting dealing with that sort of thing for quite some time now. It's really fascinating. Because again, we're still sitting in a 1 hour order block. So it still looks good. It's just being douchey. And that's just how it is sometimes. Like you just get those really high, what does ICT call it? Like high difficulty days? No, that's not the right term. Let's look at this on the 15-minute. Okay, you're trying to, so 1, 2 more sweeps. If we can get above here, we might be, and get past this, we might be all right. Right now, they've just come back up to a 15-minute order block. They'd have to pop, pop real good past that puppy. But basically, like a day where nothing's going to work really smoothly for you. You know, I was honestly hoping that with this very aggressive move up, it wouldn't be so annoying. But it looks like we're just having one of those really annoying days where it just takes freaking forever to do what it wants to do. Let's look at this 1 hour candle. All right, so we're still look good. All we've done is swept that low out. There's still, what, 8 minutes left in this 1 hour candle. It's trying to recover itself. Sigh. Just gonna have to wait. This trade is taking so long. I don't know how many more I'm gonna be able to do before 12. All right, let's close this hour out and see how we do. I hate like sitting through lunch though. So let's push this forward to close out the hour candle and see where we are. All right, so we're still holding strong above here. We swept liquidity. So let's see if this, we'll wait for this to catch up because sometimes when we move price forward a bit, it can pause. And really, trading's like watching paint dry some days. It really is. I don't have anybody to talk to, so, you know. What is this? This strip. Yeah, let me push it forward so we can. So far we've been holding below it and holding above that. So at some point we got to move, right? In a direction. So basically, it's through, since we got into this trade right here, we were in profit for like 2 seconds, and we've been in drawdown the entire time going sideways. And we've been slowly making lower lows. Can we make a higher high here? Nope. Damn. If we get past this thing, then we might have a chance, but 15-minute shift here. If this makes like a immediate rebalance and then bounces that way, that'd be great. But we still got 10 minutes left on this candle, so. This guy closes aggressively upward, then we're cooking with Crisco. So far, our stop has done its job, kept us in the game, in the middle of all of this gross wicking. I swear, when we leave this space, it's going to be like a nice aggressive move up. All right, let's push this to 10, 12, 15. So we can go take other trades. So I'm allotting 2 hours for this. All right, 15 minutes later. Catching up. Okay. New 15-minute candle. I mean, honestly, if you're gonna get stopped out, like just get stopped out early on, like insta stops. Like I dig those, right? Those are really cool because then you know you're wrong immediately and voila. But you've been sitting in a trade for like, what's this? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, almost 50 minutes and no movement. That's just a rough day, man. All right, let's move this to 12:20. Ugh, dang it. We got stuck in high resistance conditions, y'all. High resistance conditions. What a pain in the butt. These are days I try to avoid like the plague, honestly. I try my best to avoid these days. Now we're just pushing time forward just to get on with it. Cause these high resistance days, man, they let you sit and stew for hours and you just don't want to be in those days. The stupid thing is the trade still looks good. Let's look at the 1 hour. I mean, the trade still looks really good. Like we're respecting the top of this thing. Like we're primed. But we might not actually go up. This is what, like 12:26. Let's go to 12:30. Jeez. I'm tempted to push the hour, but that's too far. Let's go to 5 minutes. Jeez. We're still in the same place. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Jeez. All right, let's go to 12:35. This is lunchtime, so I usually prefer to be out of the trade by lunchtime if we can. But sometimes you just can't. Right now, we are sitting in the sideways muck. Still looking good to continue upwards. No joke, once we close over this high, I'm going to move my stop right here, but geez. Okay, let's push forward another 5 minutes. 12:40. So we're just sitting in the same place. Jeez. Like, pick something. You're looking good to continue upwards, so go upwards. Like, it's not that hard. Finally rolling up. Can we get over this thing? Let's look at the 15-minute candle. Now we're starting to look a little bit more bullish, but again, everything's all about closures. Let's push it to 12:45, a couple more minutes. See how we close. This is easier backtesting because we can like actually like speed up the closure, but it's a huge pain in the butt. All right, so we're seeing the closure speed up a bit. Okay. Good closure on the 15-minute there. Lots of people got their asses handed to them in this space right here. 1 hour candle. Weak, but pushing up. All right, let's push it forward. 12:50. I'm tempted to just push it to 1 o'clock and just see how this candle closes. So far, the stop. So we had a shift on the 5-minute, very aggressive shift. Then we had another shift up, very aggressive, fair value gap order. I've set my order here to down here, and that's my setup. So I've had to sit through God knows how long. You know what? Let's close this hour out. Geez, like 49 minutes trying to take this trade. It's just how it goes sometimes. All right, we're closing the hour out. All right, so let's see. The hour closed. Bearish, but above the fair value gap. So we're still in the muck. No muss, no fuss. Okay. Let's Go. Just get 5 minutes in. Just keep getting rejected off of that thing. So it looks like we're just about to get stopped out after sitting in this trade for literal hours, almost 2 hours, hour and a half, just to get stopped out just seems really wrong. But it's all about the closures. Like that hour closure just didn't. Are we moving? Hold on. Just drop down to a lower time frame. And then we can get to the 5 minute again. So this is a very clear, I want to keep dropping now. So after all of that time sitting in this trade, failing miserably to go up, it looks like we're just sitting in chop. It's 15-minute candle. Yeah. So we have a sweep. This is a propulsion block. And it looks like we're just gonna, again, everything's all about closures. This is a nice closure above this guy. I would have preferred this candle to continue that way. It didn't, so most likely we'll continue to get sideways bent in this. This I consider to be the most annoying trade ever. Let's push this forward another, well, that 5 minute candle's about to close. So I think we're finally going to get stopped out. We can move on with our lives. Jesus. I prefer if we just continue the very bullish push up. Right now we're just hanging out inside of this 15-minute order block still. London lows are here, so yeah. Let's watch our doom on the 1 minute. We've taken a lot of lows out, retrace back up, taken more lows out, retrace back up. I think this is where we get stopped out. Just, that's a rough stop out after God knows how long. That sucks. That is the shittiest trade I think I've ever sat in. Honestly, I can't even begin to tell you. And to take that big of a loss on that trade is just rude. So they just took out London. All right, well, I'd have to eat that. And let's move on. Because that was just disgustingly mean. All right, let's move on to the next day. April 7th. So we would have been... Oh, no. In the same place. Goodness. Oh, this is awful. In the same place. Is there any news? So no news. So we can just move to 9:45 and continue on with our lives. So what do we have here? Oh, man. So we're in the same place as yesterday. So I'm going to say no. We're failing to go higher, but we're just, I don't know. Let's push this to 10 o'clock because this is just some sideways action right now. But I was considering holding on and then taking a long in the PM from yesterday's BS trade right here. Wouldn't have gone far, but so this 1 hour is looking really bearish. Let's push this to 10 o'clock. So the trade before this one I wouldn't have taken because the stop would have been too big for 1 micros for me. All right, so that's the 1 o'clock, the 1 hour candle says 10 o'clock on the 7th. And what do we have? We have this low right here for some sell side liquidity. That's looking pretty bearish. What do we have? Do we have a sweep? So we had a bit of a sweep here, shift. And let's look at the 15. So it looks like it's good to close this fair value gap out. So we had a sweep, shift, reach back up, shift again. So probably too late to get in on this action. Propulsion block here. I don't like where my stop would have to be for that. Let's look at the 1 minute. Yeah, that might just run without us. Look into this. Shifted down here. Fair value gap. There's one inside of here, but my stop would have to be up here. So the entry would be something like this for a 1 microcell. And I don't know that I think it's worth. And, you know, they would have to come all the way back up, and then I would have to try and get something like that. Let me check my notes to see if I even took a trade this day. What? Oh. So on a 1 minute, that would be the entry. It's not my favorite type of entry. Let's look at the 5 minutes. With a big wick like that, much prefer. But we've got this and this. Probably don't even get grabbed. Check my journal here. Did I take a trade on April 7th? Yeah, I took a short for a $77 loss. So I think the short idea was correct. I just, hold on. Let me think here. Because if I took a short then, that means I would have been in before this occurred. So that means that I would have taken a short when we tap this. And then let's look at the 1 minute here. When we swept here, and then I would have taken a short right here and gotten tagged out here. Something like that. Let me see. Because for a 5 minute retracement, after all of this drop, I would have wanted to see them tap into this 5 minute fair value gap and then give me something aggressive. So like 8:55 is when they did that. 9:30 is when we swept it and then dropped. Do we leave any 5 minutes? Oh, we have a tiny thing here. I have to look at my screenshots to see what trade I took. But this doesn't look like I got anything going. They haven't taken this sell side liquidity. So we have 1, 2 fair value gaps, 3. Okay, so I see what I would be looking for here. I'd be looking for them to tap into this guy, stop above here, and then drop. So I will still put my 1 microcell here. Or maybe I can wait and see if they give me something juicy. If they take that out, then the whole thing is done, because what's the point in going for something that's already been swept? You know what I mean? You want the first sweep. That's the highest likelihood of you getting what you want. So we have a lovely propulsion block here. The 5 minute entry is a sell, a 1 microcell with a stop above this guy. And then of course I'd want to get that low right there. Whether or not we get a retracement back up to tag me in. No, honestly, I've noticed, like, especially when they don't take my low, then if we got 1, 2, 3 fair value gaps, they'll probably tap into the fair value gap for sure. You know? And usually for a retracement, I call this a continuation trade technically. I want to see them tap into the fair value gap and then leave me a aggressive candle. So I'm going to take the 5-minute wick entry with a stop above the order block and fair value gap. See what else is in the way to save us from ourselves. So this is a propulsion block. If they bust past this and dig back into this foolishness, then, I mean, the trade is cooked anyway. Okay, let's see. Do we get an entry? Let's push this forward to 25. If it busts past that, I'm not going to bother. Oh, okay. All right, looks like we might get tagged in. Let's dip to the 1 minute. So there's a 5-minute fair value gap right in here. I'm getting it at the 5-minute order block. Let's see if we can get that entry. Right now I'm just trying to get it to move because sometimes when you switch the time, it will tap the 5-minute thing. Hold on, I'm trying to get my entry right at the order block right there. There we go. Sometimes it'll run away from you after tapping the fair value gap. In that scenario, then I'll drop to the 1 minute and see if there's like an aggressive move away. I really like that. I prefer a more aggressive move. Sometimes they'll make like a short-term high and then sweep it right after. So I'm hoping that's what happens here. And I think, and then you could have like the more aggressive 1 minute entry. It's all about how it closes. Like if this closes with the fair value gap and they sweep this, then we have like an order block option. But sometimes I don't like to take it at the first one because they always sweep through it another time, and then that's how they get you. So let's see if we do that. If they of course drop here, then we can absolutely grab an inversion or a continuation entry from here. But a lot of times when they come up into that 5-minute fair value gap, I prefer a more aggressive. I don't like these 1, 2, 3 tiny candles. I would like the first ones just be like, bam, drop, you know, and then I'll take that because that's engulfing. It does the job. Life's like a box of chocolates. Boom. You know what I'm saying? All right. So let's see if we get that push one more sweep higher. That's all I'm asking for. Doesn't mean they'll give it to me, but we'll see. All right, we're on into this backtesting session. The first trade that we took was a huge pain in the butt. Literally huge pain in the butt. Like sat in that trade for like almost 2 hours. This is why you want to try and avoid chop as much as possible. Just avoid the chop because chop is like, I don't know, man. Chop is like a trader's worst nightmare as far as I'm concerned. Let me take this ringer off. I usually have it on vibrate, so I'm pretty sure. Okay, so now we got tagged in. So I'm pretty sure when I took the trade originally, I mistook this weak return as the entry I wanted, and I got stopped out with this candle, I think. So now all we're looking for, again, the idea behind this trade is very simple. We've dropped aggressively, right? We've left 1, 2, 3 5-minute candles, fair value gaps, bearish. I want to see them tap the third one and then drop. Like that's my thesis. Like I've seen that work like a lot over the past years. And so far we've tapped it once here. We've tapped it once here, closed below it, looking good. And now once we start dropping, then I can adjust my stop to here. And then what I need to see right now is the next set of 5-minute candles close lower. So I'm just gonna wait and see. But that continuation trade has been really amazing. And chasing price doesn't make any sense because as long as it hasn't taken the low that you're expecting, a lot of times it'll come back up and tag you. But a lot of people tend to chase, and that's when they lose like a bunch. So this trade would help to mitigate the 2-hour trade from yesterday. Ugh, so annoying. And this practice is so great because it helps me just put the entry in and not overthink it. Last week, I was very proud of myself. I just put the entries in. I didn't overthink anything. And it just made life so much easier for me. I took 2 trades or 2 wins, both $200 on a single micro, which I think is incredible. Like $200 on a 1 micro trade is awesome. Like we had a lot of good movement last week. I missed, I didn't get my entry for on my Tuesday trade. That's because I was being too rigid. I sent my entry and they just sort of ran away. They didn't bother to tap the 1-minute fair value gap. I wanted them to tap for the entry, which is not weird. They sometimes do it. They sometimes don't. It's just a thing. All right. So if we can continue dropping, then we've made a nice new protected high here. And we just need to see if we can keep the movement. So I'm going to push this down to 1045. That's looking real nice. Can we close below this tiny little bullish 5-minute fair value gap? Okay. So this point, just move my stop to here. Let's run up to the 15-minute candle real quick. All right, that looks good. Well, given that I had so much space, let's just take it to this 15-minute candle right there. That gives me a lot more room until they move, and we have the fair value gap in between and a little bit into the order block with the wick. We just need to see this close below here and stay below here before we can like put our stop into profit. But this is great because at least it reduces the loss. So oh no, we put it back to where it was. Never mind. My bad. Yeah, we need to see like a nice closure further down. This looks like a lot of shenanigans right here. Yeah, just messing with folks. So if we bust below here, then I can, because we swept those guys, then we can move our stop. Let's move it to 1055. Just get that going. So this is the second of my trades, right? Like I do the 2 trade, the 2 fair value gap. So we had a sweep, shift, and shift. So perfect. It's also a continuation trade as well, tapping into the fair value gap. And now we're just looking for continuation down so we can, so at this point, I think we're in a decent enough space to move the stop here for real this time and reduce our loss to like almost nothing. And honestly, like when this hits like 200, hey Abinar, how's it going? Long time no chat. How's life? Everything good? How's the trading? Yes, this is what I should have done. Yeah, this is good. All right, so now we just need them to again, we've needed them to clear this tiny little thing and break below this and then start moving further down. That's it. We don't need a ton. We could just go for the extreme here. It's probably a good place. That'd be a good 200. Yeah, let's not be too greedy. Let's go for like the just below the extreme midpoint of the wick. Let's move the stop into profit, and then that will just, that should have tagged us out right there. What? Why is there a limit order? All right, there we go. Wait, what is that? Understand what just happened. Somehow I just made $34.50 when I had 200 and change. I don't what? What? I moved the limit order for I oh right. We just oh really? Oh awesome. Thank you. Okay, so we just made $34.50 on the week because we made back the loss from the day before. Yeah. All right, that's a good trade. Oh, really? Well, spending time with family is pretty good, as long as you enjoy it and they're cool. Yeah, it looks like we would have gotten our full TP there. I think maybe I should have just been trailing the stop really tight, but that's good. We took care of our loss and made a little bit of money. Not bad. All right, let's move on to the next day. That would be plenty of a trade for me. Yo, I did too. Nice. I took a one micro trade on Friday and I made 200 as well. It was a good trade. It was a long, and I took the exact same trade on Thursday and made $200 on it. So I was very proud of myself. Very proud. So I'm very happy for you. I mean, that's the thing. Like one micro can really, still pay you really well. So I don't know why people can't be sleeping on a single micro trade, Oh, hell no. Look at this. Okay, so this is the 8th. Let's see if there's any news on the 8th. Oh, this is FOMC. You know what? I'm finding that these last few days, you kind of have to hold that long. It's crazy. You just kind of have to. They just took out so we have some equal highs up here now that they've moved so high. And they swept the sell side liquidity and just ran up. Got that. So some higher time frame buy side liquidity all the way up here. And we'll delete that. Right? Like, I posted my trades on the channel and I sped up Fridays because it took like 50 minutes and I wasn't talking, so I had no audio, but I condensed it down to like 5 minutes so you can watch it. But the Thursday trade, I let it because I didn't have any meetings or anything, so I didn't have to like make it no audio. And that was like 50 minutes of just waiting, waiting for the trade. The whole week's was like that. Ugh, so crazy. All right, so we have FOMC this day, and we've run up like a ton. So I don't know, man. FOMC, a lot of folks say don't trade it. Let me see. Did I trade this FOMC? I'm not looking at my like screenshots, just my. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like I took 4 trades on the 8th. And all of them were like break evens with one loss, 2 break evens, and 1 win. Okay. Honestly, don't know what type of trades I took, so let's go see what we were working with. Yeah, but the chop has been something else. Like, it's so crazy, right? Like you're sitting there, you're waiting for like an hour and a half for the slow grind up. And no joke, like if you close and take what little, you get out of it, as soon as you close, it's like, and you're like, you know what? So annoying. All right, so FOMC in the morning. I'm not looking at any of my screenshots because then I'll know what time I took the trade. So we have 1, 2 5-minute fair value gaps, and they've just sort of run everybody out. They've run everybody out. So let's just push this to 10 o'clock so we can see what the hour candle closes. At this point, I expect it to be pretty bullish with like a small wick down. Let's see. Did we? Oh, this is the 1 hour candle. Oh, these are 1 hour candles. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh, this is one of those situations where I feel somewhat bad for um London still, because they took out London lows midnight. I mean, let's be honest. Dipping into what looks like Asia lows would be right around there. Let's look at the 15 minutes. So it's very, 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 very bullish. Honestly, I wouldn't mind a bit of a sweep into here and then a proper rejection. But we have a very large fair value gap to play with here. And it looks like London just got a very slow, very annoying grind up. And all we're doing is sweeping it. And what time does Asia start? 8? 8 to 12? 8 to midnight? Or so? So I'm not super excited about this. And then slow. What would folks call this? Non-ICT folks, like a bull flag? Or something? Like, here's the thing, and then it's supposed to go that way, right? I don't know, I never use those things, so no idea. So what you doing for the weekend, Ebenar? I'm like, yesterday was like the first Saturday I could just chill. Went out, did a little grocery shopping, and then grabbed a smoothie, and then I sat outside and read, and the kitties were running around being cute, and then trying to work on my grip strength. It's a slow process because, slow. All right, let's drop to the 5-minute for this day. Oof, okay. So we've had a lot of sweepies. Sweep, shift, another sweep. I'm still bullish. Yeah. So tomorrow is going to be the first Monday that I haven't been in the office for the last couple of weeks. So I'm excited to get an opportunity to start the week on a Monday. Doesn't matter if I actually get a trade. Everything has to be super clear first, Yeah, and I'm trying to fight the laziness of not backtesting because I'm feeling like I'm finally starting to like get comfortable with where I am and what I need to do. See, my problem with taking a short here is that we've already kind of swept a whole bunch of stuff. It could drop further, but it feels like chasing, and I don't like that. And we've got this swept that out. I don't know if I would call it equal lows. I call it equal lows if this was higher than that one. I tap into a higher time frame fair value gap though. This thing is huge. Huge. But we haven't looked at the daily as it's forming. So this is a very bullish day. We've swept a whole bunch of stuff already. I don't know, man. I need to see something real aggressive to be interested in something here. Plus it's FOMC, right? And it would be, why are you doing that? Why is it doing that? Just flip it about. Behave yourself. Stop moving. Okay, let's pretend it's not doing anything. But we have fair value gaps to dip into. Let's clean up a bit. Let's clean that up. So I figure I'd just get some back testing done and don't be lazy. After this, I'm probably going to get on the bike. There's a trail across the street, so I can do like a 16-mile bike, and then I can relax. And then tomorrow morning, I can do like total body workout and get my cardio in today. So, all right. So we've got a nice... That's the best type of attack, Ebinar. Kitty attack. Weirdly enough, no cats have come to see me in the last like hour. I'm a little offended, honestly. Mainly because, like, when we're sleeping, Sasha comes and she jiggles the door, and it sounds like a grown man trying to break into the room. And then when we come outside, and after she's jiggled and drove me nuts, she's literally like, "Don't touch me," and runs downstairs. I'm like, so rude. So rude. I'm like, why would you come up here, do all of this crazy crap, and then ignore me? What's the point? What's the point? He just wants you to be around. Cats, man, you gotta love them. They are adorable. Oh, I hear a little tinkle. There's a kitty coming. Ah, Sasha has arrived. I like to call this one Licky Licky Boom Boom because she loves to lick so much. Hey, pretty girl, what you doing? She likes to lay by my feet and just lounge. She'll like put her whole body on me and then just lay. So I'm just giving her, I don't want to pick her up because she'll run away. So I'm just giving her a little foot rub. Right, cutie? Who's a cute baby? Gotta cut your nails though. You gotta murder mittens. You know, she's doing biscuits in her tiny little murder mittens. You heard the jingle? Oh, she's licking my toe. Always with the licking. We have to, okay, so we took the collars off for a while, and because, you know, give them a chance to just run around and do their own thing. But they're little ninjas, right? They're little ninjas. And so I'm like working, and then all of a sudden there's like just a cat zoom past me, running all over my keyboard and everything. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. So question, why wouldn't I take a short here? Again, I said, it feels like chasing. And I want a long. It's obviously very bullish. Ew. Just, what's up, little one? You coming up? Coming up? You just want attention? Did you hear the meow? I don't know if the mics catch all that. You okay, little needy girl? Come here. You coming up? Come on. Come on. There you go. Have some licky licky boom boom time. Licky licky bum bum. So honestly, with all of the bearishness we've seen, and we tapped this and we've just been going bearish, yeah, you got to enjoy a little licky licky boom boom. Yes, that is literally what happens to me all the time. I'm thinking I need to get more comfortable with, like, say, a 1 micro short right here. Yeah, I'm gonna put my stop right here on the 5 minute. And let's see if we can't catch. What? Don't just meow at me. And she's up. So we'll see that she likes to lay herself on the desk and just chill. See it? There she goes. Who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? Oh, well, look at that. And the only reason why I was even considering this is because we've just been dropping. Maybe we can dig into this guy. I don't even know where this is. I'm just curious. And now she's moved. And now she's going to, like, sit. Don't sit, but don't put your head on the laptop. Thank you very much. And now she's, like, sitting right next to me. And it's licky licky boom boom time again. So much licky licky boom boom. And she doesn't even stick to one finger, right? Like she will lick one finger, then the next finger, then the next finger, and the next finger. Really, Sasha? She just, look at her, just licking it. I don't understand the purpose of all this licky licky. Oh, she's moved fingers. Oh, she's on her third finger. Oh, fourth finger. Seriously, little girl. All right, where are we taking TP on this thing? All right, so I can't even like move my mouth. She's licking so much. So I'm going to move my stop to right here because this is a very iffy trade in the first place on the 1 minute. Right? All right, so let's set our TP. If we can break into this thing, so let's set our TP to this low right here. Midpoint of that, a little bit. Yeah, that low is good on the 15-minute. See if we can get that. So that's a 5-minute candle getting told. But I mean, the silly thing I'm doing here is fighting against a bullish fair value gap. But my general hope is that they just want to come take Asia lows out. And if we can stay below here, then I'll move my stop to right on top of that 5-minute candle. And there's still a minute and a half left. Oh, that's looking juicy. Maybe we can get it. Can we close below here? Swept that low again. But we're in this space of annoyance right here. So maybe we can close inside of this space. That'd be good. We got 20 seconds. Come on, close bearishly strong. Oof. Because what I want to do is move my stop to here, but not yet. Because with all this wicking, it needs to come into here. Ooh, that looks real nice. Take that low out. Take the low out. You can do it. And then I'm moving my stop to just below break even. Because we might just get some expansion this way. So this is the type of trade that I have a hard time taking on a regular. But look at it. All right, so that looks good on that 5-minute candle still forming. But given the iffy nature of this trade, we can start reducing our loss. Oof. Now, okay, wait. There is a tiny little break in there. Let me zoom in. Yep. Tiny little break in there. And I put my stop there. What does it look like on the 1 minute? Just need to break into this area here before I can move my stop to break even. No, go that way. Go that way. Just a little bit more. You can do it. I don't need to take a loss on this trade, honestly. Like, if this doesn't break down into here in the next, like, minute or two, then I'll just put my stop to break even right there and just call it a day. We start pushing up. There's no point in taking a loss on this trade. There's no need for that. So we're going to watch this on the 1 minute. Right, Sasha? Who's a pretty girl? That's my baby. Who's my baby? Aww. All right, the next 2 minutes will tell me if I'm going to move my stop. Well, technically the 5-minute candle will tell me that. It needs to close bearish, which looks like we might get that. Come on, get in there. Get in there. It's like $100 on a single micro, y'all. Come on, take that low out. Take that low out. You can do it. You can do it. Okay. I don't like that, so I'm going to move my stop to just above break even, and I'll be fine. I get stopped out, I get stopped out. My wrists are so like weak. But it'll just be a break-even trade. Just pay for fees. Just don't like all this wicking. What's up, pretty girl? Who's my baby? Who's my baby? You should see her cute little face. Oh my goodness. You're so adorable. What kind of cats do you have, Ibinar? Are they girls, boys? Sasha is she's a tabby calico. Oh, nice. Okay, now that we've broken in here, stay low. You can do it, expand. Yeah, hey, nice. This is my first time having girls. They are adorable. You should see them fight. Oh my god. Sasha be owning Maddie, man. She be owning her. I'm like, dang, girl. Why are you so mean, though? Why are you so mean? Oh, look like we're gonna get our TP. Come on, don't get stuck. You can do it. And there we go. Good trade. Yeah. So that wasn't a 1-2 though. Or maybe it was. I don't know. TOS doesn't have like a they don't have like a setup to. So this one was kind of a feeling kind of trade. It was like, oh, we're just gonna test it out. What I want now that they've taken out Asia lows, I want to see them give me a nice shift upwards. So it's 10:48. Oh, is this the FOMC day? Okay, so we got one little trade. We probably don't get anything. Oh, I agree with you. They are so smart. Like they were both sitting on my lap and they were like grooming each other, and then they started fighting. And I was like, stop. And they both stopped and looked at me. And I was like, don't fight on my lap. And they didn't. They got up and walked away. And then they started fighting elsewhere. I was like, oh, they are so smart. Sasha, this one? Oh my god. Let's see, can we get here without... Oh. Trying to... Oh, she's behind the laptop. I can't help you. I wanted to give you a facial shot of her, but she's... Yes, stern talking to and they stop. At one point, like my partner had put up like, steps and areas they could sit up, they could go up onto on the wall, and they would get to the top and they would start fighting. And I'd be like, oh, hell no. And I'd be like, no, stop fighting up there. And they would just like, oh, okay, and stop fighting. It was so crazy. It was so funny. My goodness. So that was a pretty cheap trade for a quick drop. Like, what? That was a cheap trade. So the thing is that like I'm more comfortable trying these trades now, especially when it's just, look at it, it's just like this, and then with a single micro you can actually like give it a lot more room, you know? My only concern originally is the fact that they'd already been dropping, but this was just telling me they wanted to keep going down. So I just wanted to see if they want to take Asia out. Just a quick little hit. Probably could have done a 2 micro trade and just put the stop above here and hope for the best, but that's not how we roll. But look at this. Got a tiny order block here. I don't like that one as much. This one is nice. But it's before FOMC. So just for funsies, let's go to 235 post FOMC and see if there's anything we could have taken on this day. Oopsie. Sometimes it takes a while to move. Okay. All right, so 235. So this is what I would have wanted on the 11 o'clock time frame. So let's look at the 5 minutes. So we had the sweep here. Let me get in on this action. All right. So on the 5 minute, after they took Asia out here, the first shift occurred right here. So I would be looking for a secondary shift for a continuation up to take out these highs, or even to hit the equal highs that I expected a while back. But let's see. This FOMC seemed a bit weak. Not a lot of movement, tiny 5-minute candles. Ugh, that's not nice at all. I've taken a couple of trades after. Let's move this to 245. Maybe we can get like the macros to do something for us. Well, it looks like they just want to keep going down. I mean, beyond this little guy here, and we had the Asia, I'm not super excited about this. The long is really where I wanted to grab something. What you doing, Sasha? Don't run away. Come here, baby. Oh, bye. Gotta cut her little murder mittens, so I can't be playing them games, you know what I'm saying? But an AM long after this sweep right here. Oof. Actually, this would have looked really nice. Small break right here. Oh, no, Sasha. Dang. Man, I gotta cut her nails today. She was just trying to touch me and her little nails just got me. Little girl. Little girl. Your little nails got me, girl. We gotta cut your nails. Don't lick my toes. She's a little toe licker, man. All right, well, this is looking more bearish on the PM here. I guess midpoint of this wick is where it would go, but I don't think. Hey, nope. Your nails are way too sharp. You can't be playing with me right now. Here, play with this. You wanna play with that? You wanna play with that? Oh no, kitty play. Oh my god, my poor toes. Jeez. Don't be playing games with these little toesies. No joke, after this is kind of like a scenario I would have been interested for a long earlier. On the 5-minute, lovely. The only annoying thing is like the big 5-minute shift would have been up here, but this would have enticed me, like that tiny break. The volume imbalance. Wait, was there one? Yeah, the tiniest of volume imbalances. You know, once they did all of this sweep, technically the order block is right here, so it works perfectly. Order block, stop below here, tag, run up. So I think I ended up taking that trade. Now that we're looking at it, let me look at my let me look at the screenshot for that day, because I took a couple of trades, which is odd for me. But just out of curiosity. Yeah, and we have time to do one more day before 12. So this was what, 4-8? Yeah, so I took a long on a feeling, which is stupid. So the same place I took the short, here I took a long at, which was stupid. It's on a feeling. And then I got a second long entry and stopped out break even. And yeah, absolutely took the long. I took a long right here. And I got out up here. I was trailing it really close. Let me see. Let me 1 minute. So on the 1 minute, we would have gotten a shift here, bam. Second shift here, bam. Well, that shift would have occurred right here. So I would have set my order right there, stop below here, and then ridden it up to there. Yeah. But I think I took the entry here and then just wrote it up here and then got stopped out right in here. I was just trailing my stop really tight. So I didn't want to give back anything. And then it looks like I took a short after the aggressive drop right here. Yeah. I took a short right in here as well. And then, got out, looks like right on this candle right here. Nice. And why? Because of the aggressive drop. There's a fair value gap I was actually looking at in here on the 5 minutes, it looks like. A bullish one. So, but I'm definitely trading this. Oh, I see it. I was looking at this bigger fair value gap just because it's so huge. But let's look at it really quickly. So this guy right here, and I took a short at the base of it, and it just kept going. You know what? Never mind. Let's just hit the next day. I'm wasting time. Okay, so let's see. Let's go to 940 on the next, oops, not there. 940 on the next day. And let's go up to the higher time frame. And okay, so we're still in the same place. Great. I am not super excited about this. This giant fair value gap is honestly annoying me. Let's see if there's any news. So we had FOMC the day before. So we had 8:30 core PCE and nothing else. Great. So we can just nip this forward to 9:45. We're still bullish. And let's see what we can work with. So what we have this high right here we can aim for as a closer target, previous day high type thing. And did we sweep any liquidity pre-market? Like, what are we doing? Because it's okay if they swept it pre-market. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So this is the drop and foolishness that we dealt with yesterday. This is London low, looks like. Yep. And Asia lows, London took out Asia lows already. And this looks pretty bullish for a continuation up. Let's just move this to 10 o'clock. Given the nature of the candle, I want to see if it closes aggressively bullish. So far for this week, we'd be up $178.50. Let's push this to the hour. That's why you got to wait for the closures, man. All right, so we had London's sweep out. We have London down here. We have equal lows down here. They can roll back in. This is just shitty ass space to be trading right here, I think. Okay. So we have London lows right down here. Honestly, this is unfortunate because London swept some Asia out. Fair value gap here. No joke, if we bust above this guy and go up, then I will be willing to go for a long, and somewhere inside of here, some equal number like 25,300 would be a good place to stock up into. Also, I'm going to just remove that bigger fair value gap right there. It's driving me nuts. It's way too large. And instead, I'll focus in on the smaller fair value gaps that we can use. So we'll use the 15-minute fair value gaps versus the 1 hour ones for this one because it's so big. Is there a break in that? Let's check here. No, not really. So we'll leave it where it is. And what I want to see, so we've tapped this once, twice, 3 times, and we've kind of failed to go too much higher. So we'll see how we work here. Let's go to the 5 minute. Ew, just okay. So on the 5 minute, we would have. This would be the this is the accumulation phase. For me, I'm going to call this the sweep since I want it to go higher. And then if we shift above here, that'd be a big ass stop. It'd be nice if I could get a secondary shift or a continuation trade. That would be nice. Unfortunately, we could also look at it the other way around too. Like we've swept liquidity and we've shifted here with that candle, And if we reject off of this, it could go for a short. So whenever whenever I can say, make a case on both ends, I just say never mind and skip it. And again, everything's all about those candle closures. That 1 hour candle looks super duper bullish. It did, didn't it? Lies, all lies. Be like your mama coming to you and telling you, don't lie to me like a pitney. I know what you say. Me see say, me tell if you could do something, you don't do it yet. Lord man, oh, what me have to do? Beat you? Don't ask me what I'm doing. I have no idea. All right, so accumulation. I wanted a sweep. We got a sweep. London's still down here. And this looks like a sweep, shift, new 5 minutes, order block. But again, I'm bullish. I'm bullish. Don't forget you're bullish. But look at what we've been doing. We're just going sideways. And this is not the best place to get into anything. This is a terrible place to get into anything. I'm tempted to just kick this day in the face until it's a kiss my bumpo. I'm gonna check my journal, not the one with the pictures, but the one with just the numbers. Did I take a trade on this day? I did not. The next trade I took was on the 14th. So it just, this type of behavior, it doesn't make me want to take any trades. Like, nice big move up, continuation, nice, you know, but this, we're building up to something, obviously, but whether or not we'll need to be in the middle of it is, you know, yeah. So we have this fair value gap right here, and, you know, ICT has that like first presented fair value gap that he uses on a regular basis. So what's that, 930? 928, nothing. This tiny guy. So this would be the first presented fair value gap. And in this scenario, in this very mean scenario, it actually did its job. What was it? What kind of, I think it was bullish, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's a bullish fair value gap that acted as an inversion. And now price is slowly dropping. So that's the first presented fair value gap. And that guy got used, sweep, tap back in, and now drop. Again, I don't like the way this looks on the higher time frame. So at this point, I would just love to see them take out London lows. We have another 5 minute fair value gap that's held price up. Right here. So technically a bust below that would give us an option for an inversion trade, but it's too close to where I'd want to take profit, so nah. So looks like the short side's gonna win out for this one. We got 12 minutes. I don't know if I'm gonna, I didn't take a trade again until the Tuesday, so that means it probably wasn't great. Or I missed out on some good stuff. Either way, no likey. Let's push this to 10:30 and see if there's anything in here for us. If they sweep this guy and then continue. Like if I was being really ridiculous, like a 1 micro trade right here would be like the trade. Continuation short, depending on how that closes. We're creating a volume imbalance and then stop up here. Again, don't like that. I like my stops in areas where we've got a lower low, higher high, lower low, stop above that. That's protected. That's just an order block, and I don't like that. Technically, my stop would have to be up here. If I was actually short biased and I could have taken the entry at the order block stop up here, then I would be in profit on that, because we have sweep, shift, and structure on that candle. Second order block, beautiful. Tap into the 5-minute, drop, shift and structure, stop at the bottom of the order block. Entry at the bottom here, stop up here. But I'm not going to fight a dual bias or concept for the day. I don't want to take the short. I want a long. I feel like I'll get more out of it. But we're also in this shitty space. Shitty. We're all over the place. We're high, we're low, we're kind of high, we're low, we're kind of high, we're low. We're just going sideways. We're chopping. Let's look at this chop zone. Jeez. Let's get some perspective. Excuse me. But yeah, I think I will be taking a bike ride after this. So let's get the 50%. All right, so we've dropped below. So we busted above the range, the smaller range. And we swept liquidity, shifted, and then you could technically take the short into, this fair value gap closer to the low of the range. I would assume not to the end of the range. And then the same thing, then, once you swept the lows, then play the range and, take a high, take a long. Let's look at that on 1 minute just for funsies. Look at that. Engulfing candle. Don't lie to me. The 1 minute lies like a lot. It really does. That's why I like to watch the 5 minute. We might be just wasting our time on this day, y'all. Come on. London lows are right here. Oh, didn't I say this would be a nice 1 micro short? Keep getting rejected from here, right? But I don't like where my stop would have to be for this, because it's not a protected high. It's just an order block. Even if it would work, it's just an order block. Now on the 1 minute, again, I guess that looks more like a protected high, but I don't really like it. It looks primed to continue down, but is it worth it? We're so close to the end of the range. Not even, I think you'd have to size up to make the short distance worthwhile. And I can't tell how big of a stop this needs to be, but I don't like it. So, and we're about to close out anyway, so let's, I spent quite a while back testing, say the 2 minute, 5 minute entries, and honestly I prefer the 5 minutes entries. The clarity there is unrivaled. This looks good, but I'm bullish, so it's hard for me to take a short, and the payoff is not a lot. So let's see what was on the Friday and move on from this silliness that we're looking at, because I'm not interested in this price action. Let's go to the Friday here. Let's go to the 4 hour. Oh, look. Finally got some movement. Finally some bullish movement. That is beautiful. Is there news for this day? April 10th, 8:30 news, nothing else. Orange folder at 10. All right, so let's push this to 10 o'clock. And maybe they run away and leave us in the dust. but that's just what it is, right? I could also assume, like, let's drop to the 5-minute. So that's looking pretty bullish. I would want like some kind of retracement. Ew, okay. Taking some buy side liquidity. We had the equal highs up here. Let's go to the 1 hour. Ugh, why does it look so ugly? So we have a propulsion block right here. And we have a fair value gap, that price, and an order block. So honestly, I just like them to come back into the propulsion block if we can and stay above that fair value gap. For me, this is looking like it should be like a continuation trade. All right, so we have this guy. I don't like all the wicking. So we have this volume imbalance. I'd have to see. They just swept out a bunch of folks. So I'd have to see if they give us an aggressive engulfing candle up with a fair value gap. They've left a small bearish fair value gap here. We could use that as an inversion maybe. Let's see. And then we can have our stop like, let's see below that low perhaps. But let's go back to the 5-minute and let's add that volume imbalance right here as a point of interest to make that light purple. And then I'm going to go biking after this, y'all. Okay, so they've swept out everybody who tried to go short. Stop below there. So let's see if we get an engulfing. We need a aggressive engulfing candle, not weak candles, like proper. So let's see what we get. And then we can take a long and we'll just put, 1 micro long, stop down here, most likely. 2 micros if I put it below this guy, if we get above it. Yeah. But yeah, this is the real low that I would have to work with. So let's see. All right. Because this is insane, man. What is this? All right. So we're still waiting for something we can actually use for long. We've got nothing. And I don't like this foolishness at all. So now we just need to see how far they want to come. 1 minute left in this 5-minute candle. Still, what does the 1 hour candle look like for this thing? Bearish. Digging into the propulsion block. Still respecting it though. 15. Closing in the volume imbalance. Still 5 minutes in this 15-minute candle. So that looks primed to continue down a bit more. Also, the simple fact that let's go back to the daily real quick. The simple fact that we've just sort of been running up and they already took out actually, no, they didn't take that high out. That's a nice little spot for TP right there. Equal highs as well. Don't have to aim for the moon. They made equal highs. All right, let's go back to the 5-minute. All right, so we swept that. We can close aggressive. We're kind of hanging out in the midpoint. That's not bad. Now I just want to know there. Now we're looking greasy and juicy and stuff. All right, let's do a 1 micro buy right here. And we'll leave the stop there. And yeah, let's see. So I was looking for that kind of aggressive push up. The question is, do they just run away from us now? Or shit. That's an aggressive 5-minute candle. Jeez. Okay, so sometimes I wonder if I should set my entry at the top of the 5-minute candle, especially when they're running so far. Stop below though. Yeah, let's do that. Let's try that entry. See if we can't get in. I don't know if they just run away without us. All right. We are in. Aggressive candle, order block, rejection. Now we're looking for continuation. And gotta estimate what 1 to 2 of that will look like, right? So if my stop is here, I wanna, I never thought to try this before, but from that area, where is 2? Okay, so right here. So that's like a 1 to 2, I think. So let's see if we get up there. Because sometimes I get left behind because I'm waiting for them to come back down and they don't. This might be one of those situations where they actually do, but who the hell knows, right? So, but this is the protected low. And once we take that high out, I can start to adjust my stop. So we have equal high as our previous day. So if that's like 200, I'll definitely like put my stop up there. But once we start moving up, good, beautiful. They left a 5. This should be a balanced price range, so I don't see the need for them to come back down here. Got a fair value gap here and one here. They've taken care of all of that. So let's see if we are right. And because a lot of times they just go and they just run, but we're also inside of this little bit of a chop area. So once we escape that, then we can actually hit some acceleration, I think. Let's look at that 15-minute candle. Ugh, those wicks though, those wicks are just disgusting. So we got to get past the 50% of this, the highest wick here. Let's look at it on the 1 hour. It's looking promising if we can close this hour like this. Yeah, so let's see what happens. Because that's my general concern, is like I'm gonna miss the entry, because especially when there's this big aggressive. So now I have a choice. I have to do a 1 micro trade just to be able to catch it. Look at that. All right, so this is it's 12. I was planning on stopping. So let's see if we get this continuation trade. Let's move time up by 5 minutes. Let's go forward. All right. Look at the 15. They'll move it up. Just waiting for it to catch up with me, moving time forward. There we go. All right. So that's looking really good. Our stop is in a great place. If really far away, we're looking for 1 to 2 for that stop. So let's see what that, or at least I want to know if the Fibonacci will do the job for that. So I didn't take a trade this day. This is me wondering about that. So we need to get past the midpoint of this wick. Oh, nice. All right. we get further up here, I'll move my stop to just under this little 5-minute thing, and then we can continue. So let's push this forward to 10:40, because I'm excited to go biking. Let me see, what's the temperature? It's supposed to get really hot. Oh God, it's already 80. Oh man, I'm going to be sweating on that ride. It'd be nice if they could make me... Hold on. Have we gotten past the midpoint of this with a body yet? Because that's important. It's like a fair value gap right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are literally at... barely. Okay, let's push this forward. 10:45. It's just one of these days, man. Ugh, see what I'm saying? It's just one of these days. All right, so we got rejected from there. Tapped into this. Got to get past the midpoint of this wick. We took the high out, but now body closures. That's no fun for anybody. Let's push it to 10:50. See if this is going to be a win or a loss, huh? Okay, 10:50 still has us in this spot. Let's drop it to the 1 minute in the hopes we can get some movement. What this does, though, it gives us a protected low we can move our stop to if we actually end up moving higher from here. And if we end up moving higher and taking that high out, I'll move my stop to here. And life is like a box of chocolates. So let's move this forward another 5 minutes. That's not looking super great for us. 5 minutes. But it's fine. We're still respecting this area here. So we're just in this weird chop zone. All right, let's push it to 11. Looks like wants to close a little bit more bullish. Very nice. Now we have another protected low. If we take that high out, let's push it to 11:15 just to move this along. Beautiful. Okay. So with that, I can move my stop to here. And let's push this to the 1 minute just to get things like sorted out. Okay, so this is $100, equal highs. Once it hits about 200, I'll like move my stop to close that up. But this is why where you put your stop is like so very important. It has to be a protected low. The sky is beautiful. The sky is now beautiful, but at this point we're up $103 on one micro. I don't want to take a loss on it. So we've tapped into this and we're climbing. The equal highs up here. Probably, you know, honestly could have taken it here or here and then stopped down here. It might be a 2 micro trade. All right, let's go back up to the 5 minutes. All right, we're taking the high out again. Propulsion block, order block. Looks good to continue up. What's interesting is what it'll do when it gets to the equal highs or the previous day's high, whatever. Let's push it forward to 11:25. I got a 16-mile bike to get into, y'all. Looking good. Nice tap here. If we create a thing, I can lock in a little bit more. Let's go to the 1 minute just so it can... So we just let things play out. If we get stopped out for a couple bucks, that's fine. Propulsion block, if it gets below it anyway, that's where we know we're absolutely wrong. But if we make a lower low here and then a higher low, another protected low, I can move my stop to. Beautiful. Let's look at the 15 minutes. Oof, don't like that 15-minute candle. It's got 3 minutes to close, so let's push it to 11:30. Let's see how we See how we close. Pity like we couldn't do that, something similar like that in real life. You'd really just have to wait. But yeah, I'm not taking a loss on this trade. That's just silly. Let's go to the 1 minute. We need to start moving. There we go. All right. So we can use this low, lock in a little bit more once we push back up. The 5 minute candle's not looking super juicy. Like at this point, we want that 5 minute candle to get nice and aggressive and go that way. This propulsion block is, in my mind, should hold. We're in the propulsion block and order block, so if we get stopped out, it's just not going to go any higher. So that's fine. Yep. Okay, well, not a loss. Choppy markets, so that's fine. All right, guys, I think that's good for now. That's the, what was that? That's the second week in April that we got through. So next week we'll do the third week and keep it moving. So for this week, I would have made $192.50. The conditions this week weren't great. They weren't great at all. They were downright annoying. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me, Ebenar. Appreciate you. Ash, appreciate you. And anybody else, watching this later on, Coach Carter, hi. Hope the kids love the books. And I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Time for me to go work out. Okay, check it out.